Hello there, Ray here. Today guys, we'll be looking into piglins and how you can get large amounts of them. And by using cool mechanics, make yourself your very own AFK piglin farm. Plus I'll be showing how you guys can get free loot out of these guys. And if you'd like to learn about more cool farms for 1.16, I have a bunch of them linked down below in the description, including all the trades that the piglins give you and how rare each are. Now let's see what is the best way to farm these new mobs up. Piglins naturally spawn in the Crimson biome in the Nether dimension. There's also a slim chance of them spawning in the Nether waste biome. They can spawn with either crossbows, golden swords, or nothing in their hand. They can also spawn with armor that is gold as well, but it's really rare to find one that has a full set of gold armor. If you would kill a piglin, they don't drop any normal items, but they do have a chance of dropping their armor as well as their swords or weapons that they're holding. So here you see I got the golden sword as well as the gold leggings. And if you kill one with a crossbow, they will drop the crossbow with the same percentage of them dropping like armor or weapons, which is 8.5% chance, and looting does help. There's also a high chance of babies spawning part of their group as well. And they don't have any type of weapons or gear, but they will pick up items that they find on the ground. Both the piglins as well as the hoglins have the same chance of spawning in the Crimson biome. Piglins as well as hoglins currently have a persistence required tag, meaning that they will spawn into the game naturally, but they will not be able to despawn. This most likely will have to change, otherwise your world will get completely full of these guys. They are a hostile mob and count towards the hostile mob cap, and do need reduced light in order to spawn. They also will not spawn on top of the nether wart blocks, either the red variation or the blue one. Piglins are also naturally scared of the soul fire, which are these blue flames that generate in the soul sand valley, and are also scared of the soul torches as well as the soul lanterns. Taking this all into account, the best place to put in a farm for a piglin is in the Crimson Forest biome, as their spawn rates here are higher than the other biomes. We also built the farm above the bedrock. This is because there is a lot of spawning spaces for the piglins to end up spawning down here. And to be able to avoid that without removing all those areas is just to go above where there is a big vacancy. And if you're curious how to get up here above the bedrock ceiling, I did a nice video showing a few different ways to do that, which I'll link in the description. And mobs don't spawn on top of the bedrock, and we know the piglins don't spawn on top of the netherwart blocks, meaning there's nowhere for them to spawn other than inside of our farm. Mobs also only spawn so far away from the players, and that is a distance of 128 meters radius from the player. So if the player is way up in the air, there's a big sphere around where the mobs can spawn. And if we stand on top of our farm, that means the lowest part of the sphere will allow mobs to spawn on top of it. You can see how fast they spawn on this. And also here above the bedrock ceiling, there is quite a bit of room for a player to be able to get high enough up so that he doesn't allow mobs to spawn below the bedrock. Now hoglins as well as pigmen are also mobs that could spawn in this dimension, so to prevent hoglins from spawning here, we want to make sure there's no area big enough for them to actually fit in. Notice how big these guys are? If we hit F3 plus B, we can see the hitboxes of these guys. They are quite large, and these guys were able to spawn up here on top. So we want to make sure that any part that we don't want the farm to have mobs spawn on, we need to cover it up with a block that mobs are unable to spawn on. So something like redstone components will actually prevent mobs from spawning, so we could put something like buttons across all these exposed blocks here. That way they can't spawn up here. Now if the game tries to spawn in a mob, nothing will be able to spawn up here where these buttons are. And the hoglins won't be able to fit down here. Notice how big they are, and they're touching the sides. And the game won't spawn in a mob if it's touching a block like that. So the only thing that will spawn in here are piglins as well as zombie pigmen. Now zombie pigmen are quite rare to spawn in, but they can. And the way that we deal with them is we give some of their favorite items to look at, which is a turtle egg. So they'll see this turtle egg over here and they'll try to get close to it. What they'll do is walk over here. They see these trapdoors as something that they can walk over, so they'll try to hop and try to go through them, but they won't be able to. Instead, they'll fall downwards. You can kind of watch this guy do it. He walks forward, he tries to hop over it, but he can't, and he ends up falling down here. Then they'll try to get close as possible to the turtle egg, which allows them to get right beside this drop chute. And that way, whenever another mob comes through, they can easily push these guys out of the way and down into the killing chamber. But the majority of the time, you're going to have the piglins come in and spawn into these little areas here. And the reason why they are running so much is because we actually put some of those soul torches back here, which they are afraid of. And cheater codes looked into the Minecraft code and seen how these guys are actually afraid of the torches. If there is a soul torch within a 8 block radius around them, they will try to move away from it. And they check this every so often. So any of the guys that spawn here are going to try to move away from these soul torches and walk this way. Do the same thing as a pigman. They'll try to hop to escape, but they'll fall down here. Down here we have another soul torch at the ends of this. And this will allow them to be afraid as well. And they'll eventually walk away from that, which will make them walk across these trapdoors. From here they will fall straight downwards, where upon hitting the ground they will immediately die. Now the piglings don't drop any unique items, as I've said before, but you can set this up so that they fall down and the player could kill them if you wanted to. We set up the bottom portion of this specifically to take advantage of the piglings' bartering system. And the way their bartering system works is if they pick up a gold ingot, they'll actually kind of do a trade where they'll give a different type of item back to the player. And if you want to learn more how the bartering system works, I did an entire video going into in-depth about all the items and how rare they are and how's the best way to trade with these guys. Now during our snapshot stream, we discovered something really cool, which is if the pigling picks up one of these gold ingots and he gives some other item in return, if he dies while holding this ingot in his hand, he will actually return the ingot as a dropped item as well. This means that you get the same ingot back again that you gave to him. Be similar if you gave a villager some emeralds to buy some diamond armor, and then you could kill the villager and get those emeralds back again. So we took advantage of this and made it so that any piglings that come through the system not only are killed, but we can also take advantage of that and try to get some of the items out of them. So every time they fall, they end up picking up an ingot, dropping their own traded item, as well as the ingot once again. And the guy set up an automated system down here to cycle the ingots back into the piglins. So I have a command to put more piglins up there. And you can see them coming down and then dropping down here, picking up the gold, and then dying and dropping more loot. The loot is then picked up through these soul sand by these hopper minecarts. And these are just pushed into the corners of 4 different hoppers to pull the items out much faster than just one hopper, as hopper minecarts can pull out items very quickly, but normal hoppers are kind of slow. So by spreading the load over 4 different hoppers, we can speed up the process of getting the items into this chest over here. Inside these chests, you'll mostly see all the different items that the piglins will barter for. And the piglins don't even need a player there to be bartering, they just need to have an item ingot near them. So you can see the wide range of stuff that we got for them. And if you would kill them by player means, they'll also drop their swords as well as armor and crossbows. And there is quite a few loot we got from these guys so far. Now the gold ingots are also going down into this chest here, but we also have some item filters which are pulling them out, taking them back up this item elevator here, and putting them into the recycling chamber, which just dispenses them for the piglings to pick up once again. Kind of lines them against the edge because piglings can pick up gold ingots within 1 block of them, so even ones that land over here are able to pick those up. So there's some redstone that goes to this dropper clock, which takes items up. There's also a system that recycles items so they don't despawn. So every so often we allow it for the items to get recycled over, up, and dropped again. Otherwise, after 5 minutes, items will be removed from the game. And there's some smart clocks on it which will turn them off when there's no items in here. Same goes for this one up here. Once it's done dispensing, it can turn off. And then there's also a clock which will kind of allow all the items to get dropped into the hopper below. This is the one that we set for just under 5 minutes, and that way we don't lose them to despawning. This weird glitch that we found to do with infinite bartering probably won't stick around in the game, but getting a lot of piglings to do some bartering with will be very useful in your world, because you can turn all that gold that you have into a new way to farm up items. So you want to give yourselves a lot of piglings so you can do all that trade with them. So by coming in here and just switching this out with some blocks so they don't die from the fall damage or the wither roses down below, we can go ahead and test it and watch these guys accumulate in there. And since they have that persistence required, they'll continue to spawn and end up down there, but they won't be able to despawn. So we're going to go 120 blocks above the farm or to the very top of the world, and this is where we can AFK, and the piglins will be able to spawn down below. And we're looking at this F3 screen. This number that over here is E, shows the number of entities over the total number of entities. So we have approximately 13 piglins down there. So let's go down and check on how many piglins we got in the drop chute. You can see they are spawning even before our eyes, and look at all of them down here. Captured a bunch of them. Now notice how over here we have some pigmen spawning on these huge fungi. And this is because although the hoglings and piglins can't spawn on this, pigmen still can. That's one way you can kind of get pigmen to spawn without having the piglin spawn. Now these guys also will pick up armor, so you can put some OP armor on them, and you can also give them better weapons. And they will automatically fight stuff like hoglins or wither skeletons. But remember, if you're going to go ahead and trade them up close, make sure you wear some gold armor, otherwise they will be aggressive towards you. It's pretty cool that they gave us the mechanics of the being afraid of the soul fire, allowing us to kind of push them away from platforms without needing any redstone. Now you could come in here with like a slimestone pusher, but with this setup here, you don't actually need any redstone whatsoever. And even a small setup like this is quite efficient, but you can go ahead and you can put this like on both sides. You can also stack this up if you want to have more spawning spaces. Overall, the piglins are a very fascinating mob, being somewhat like a villager, but also being somewhat like a hostile mob. Now during our snapshot stream, we tested a wide variety of things with these guys, and in the last video you guys had a couple more questions to ask about them. One being, how many golden nuggets can these piglins actually hold? So let's go ahead and put a hole into the floor, and we will put one piglin in there. And let's just keep giving him stacks of gold nuggets and seeing how many he can actually hold. So there's 10 sets of gold nuggets. Looks like he's pulling them in. You can see, looks like he took them all in. Okay. 20. There's 20 stacks of gold nuggets. He's pulling them all in. A lot of items. But yeah, it appears that he just takes them all. I don't think there's a limit. Now the player has 36 inventory slots. Let's see if he can actually take in more nuggets than what a player can typically hold. This is 40 stacks. Let's see if he can take them all in. Yep, he's pretty much a gold gobbler. Just eats up all the gold. But let's see if he actually returns in gold. Some of you guys suggested that he would give the gold back if you killed them. So we killed them with looting. We got his helmet, his boots, and his sword, as well as some XP, but we did not get any of the items that he picked up. So all those gold nuggets are just gone. You guys also suggested that when he takes stuff like gold ore and he looks at it, but then he ends up looking like he tosses it, like his arm goes out. He really just keeps it inside of his inventory. Now he is picking these up one at a time. Let's go ahead and just get rid of the rest of them. So he has probably about 5 or 6 on him. Let's see if he returns any of them when we kill them. So we killed them. And it looks like, yeah, we did get our gold ore back. So he's not disposing of them, even though his hand kind of looks like it's throwing outward. So let's give him 1 gold block as well as 1 gold ore. And he should be able to pick up both those. And we can actually check his inventory with the command. There, his inventory right there. And you can see right here in his hand, he's holding the gold block. And in his inventory, he has the gold ore store, just one of them currently. So very similar to like villagers who have inventories to hold crops. These guys have inventories to hold gold items. But it seems like there's currently a bug to do with the gold nuggets. And maybe that's an unused feature. Maybe they're going to have that as a way to like breed 2 piglins together. Or maybe a way to kind of become like friends with them. Now, if you guys have any more questions you want us to test out, let us know in the comments. And don't forget about our upcoming snapshot testing stream this Wednesday. And make sure to turn on your notifications, as well as follow me on my other social links so you'll get notified of when we go live. And remember to drop a like on the video, as well as share it with other Minecrafters so they can learn about the new ways of farming up the new piglin mob. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.